It's been 7 years since the world woke up to the sad news about Boko Haram invading a school in Borno State, northeast of Nigeria, and abducting 276 girls. That sad incident marked a turning point and, in fact, a ramping up of kidnapping for ransom in that part of the country. Ever since then, it has become more and more frequent. However, what makes the Chibok incident stand out is that 7 years on, 112 of the initial number of kidnapped girls remain in the custody of Boko Haram. Joining us now from our Rise Abuja studio to reflect on a very sober period in Nigeria's history is Dr. Allen Manasseh, a strategic team member of the BringBackOurGirls Movement. He's also founder and chief executive officer of Impact Trust International, a humanitarian organization working to support victims of violence, as well as changing the narrative through countering violent extremism and developing livelihoods in Nigeria. Dr. Manasseh, good morning, and thank you for joining us. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Well, Dr. Manasseh, quickly, 7 years ago, the entire world was shocked that over 276 girls will be abducted just like that from a secondary school in Nigeria. And then we had the BringBackOurGirls Movement, and since then we've had a lot of incidents, involving schools being attacked, students being abducted. In 2018, over 100 girls were abducted again from a school in Dapchi, government secondary school Dapchi. But with all of this, do you think that Nigeria has learned some lessons with regard to the safety of our schools? Or we haven't learned any lesson at all?
Honestly, I don't think we've learned anything since the Chibok abduction. If we trace back, the BringBackOurGirls movement started 15 days after the Chibok abduction. And why was that? Because they expected the abduction in Chibok should have been treated with the sense of urgency it deserves. But 15 days after, they did not see that happening. All that we were watching was official narratives being twisted, denial, blaming each other along party lines, along regions, along who is supposed to do what, and lots of frivolities instead of immediate pursuit, cordon, search, and rescue of the Chibok girls. That did not happen. And 7 years down, we had Dapchi 2 years after. We had Kankara now. We had another one in Kagara. We had another one in Jangebe in Zamfara. And now we have another one in Afaka and lots of others. Had the Nigerian government and the security apparatus were ready to actually approach the issue of Chibok abduction with the sense of urgency it deserves to ensure that it did not happen, we wouldn't have recorded all these numerous other attacks. Now we've reached a stage that we are children in Nigeria, students are being forced to choose between going to school and staying alive. And that is very, very unfortunate. So to me, nothing has changed. It's getting worse because all that the BringBackOurGirls movement were asking for was what happened in Chibok. Do the right thing, stop this blame game, get the girls back. After then do your investigation, identify all the loopholes that resulted in the abduction and the sustained stay of the Chibok girls in abduction. And then after the investigation, go ahead and punish whoever that is responsible for those lapses. But that was not done. And because of the blame games and all that happened, it further emboldens the criminals, the terrorists, Boko Haram, and other commercial abductors to keep infiltrating our nation. And today, no one is safe, nowhere is safe to go. Abduction is virtually almost all the 36 states are having issues of abduction, and this is where we are. And it's very unfortunate. Nothing has changed 7 years down.
That is such a damning account. I want to take you back this time 7 years ago because we have to discuss all the steps that brought us to where we are now, where, as you said, the choice is going to school or dying. This time 7 years ago, there were people who were playing politics with the abduction of these innocent girls. Some people were actually denying it, which is blamed to a large extent to the slowness of the government of the day in acting. And also there was a lapse in acting on the intelligence, because there was intelligence, was there not, before the abduction happened and nothing was done. Can we expand on that? Because we do need to learn all the lessons.
Hours before the abduction in Chibok, there was a report from local intelligence that Boko Haram were sighted gathering somewhere, and the target as to the direction they were moving was towards Chibok. As at then, there was no issue of attacking on schools and especially women, taking that large number of women. Most people don't even know that the children were even in school, because it was an extension. They were writing exam. From 1 to 5 were on break. Only from 6 that were writing the final high school examination. They were done with WAEC even. They were writing the NECO exam. I think it was about 3 exams or 2 that were remaining for them to conclude. So most people don't even know that children were in school aside the parents and those that were there. So there was an intelligence, and it was reported to virtually almost all the political stakeholders, you know, in Borno State, from the governor down to the chairman of the local government. And they reported to all the security agencies. They knew that there was a pending attack on Chibok. Nothing was done. As at then, we had very few military detachment in Chibok, and very few, I think about 15 or 17 policemen in the entire local government. And they could do nothing, because these terrorists came in different directions. It was in the wee hours of early morning, and they were in Chibok for hours, because having attacked a lot of houses in Chibok and attacking the school, burned the school, they picked a lot of cars in Chibok, about 7, with some trucks full of foodstuff, and then loaded these girls along. All the cars that they were able to take that would develop fault, they burnt it right there. They stayed in Chibok for between 10, 11 p.m. up to 3 a.m. before they vacated and started moving towards the Sambisa region. So there was intelligence, very critical one for that matter. And we expected that there will be swift movement, even if it was after the abduction, nothing happened. 24 hours after the abduction, nothing happened. When we were tired of waiting for response from government and from the security agencies, the parents and vigilantes in Chibok assembled to pursue. The same soldiers came from Damboa then and Biu and said nobody will attempt anything because it is tantamount to suicide for us to go after the terrorists. So we said, okay, now that you are not allowing us to move in to do anything, go ahead and rescue our guests. Nothing happened day 1, nothing happened day 3, and the counting started. So as far as we are concerned, there was intelligence, but the security apparatus did nothing. The political class and the leaders in Borno did nothing. And that was why the Bring Back Our Girls movement keep asking where and what happened to the fact-finding committee that we requested for. And it was publicly announced and declared, and it was led by Brigadier General Sabo, and he went to Chibok, you know, having met with us severally, and we gave them all this detail at the level of the community, at the level of the school, at the level of the parents, and any other thing. We gave them all this detail. And after then, we kept asking for release the reports of the Sabo fact-finding committee, let Nigerians know what happened in Chibok, so that we now know who should be punished, because absence of consequences for all this lackadaisical attitude we have in Nigeria is what is emboldening everyone to just, you know, be grandstanding on failure and impunity and nothing happen. And that is unacceptable. We cannot continue like that. We cannot continue to feel like treating human life should be with this kind of attitude. That is not right. Had Chibok been given the attention it deserved, had we gotten answers to the question that the Bring Back Our Girls movement raised, had they worked with the citizen charter to end terrorism that we've designed, we've collected from all Nigerians and designed and made available to the government, we would have gotten a lot of progress in prosecuting the war on terror. That has not been given the attention it deserves, and that's why we are here today.
Okay. I want to ask you this. Is the government still engaging with the Chibok parents? I ask specifically because Another one is happening in Kaduna State now, that the parents have complained that they're getting nothing again from the government in terms of conversation. That case is still on in Kaduna. Is the government still engaging with the parents? What do you know as regards that as we speak now?
To me, the level of engagement to the Chibok parent, I would say it is nothing to write home about, because the Chibok girls' desk was domiciled in Ministry of Women Affairs. What authority or what administrative function does the Minister of Women Affairs have to do with security, to do with rescue, to do with anything about the Chibok girls? Yes, the ministry can support the Chibok parents in terms of welfare and others. But this issue is more critical. That debt should be domiciled in at least the office of the Vice President. That was what we asked for. It was domiciled in the office of the Women Affairs, and nobody knows what is happening there. So periodically, all that happens is when it is about the commemoration of April 14, then some people will be mobilized to go to Chibok with some bags of rice and some change to be given to Chibok parents. Is that what they want? We have over 20 parents that died already from blood pressure related complications, renal failure, that also as a result of blood pressure, and what happened? 20 plus parents died. Nothing happened. The first to die was my auntie. So what we are saying is the level of engagement with the parents should change. There is no update on the issue of rescue
Dr. Manasseh
whatsoever at every level. Nothing.
Dr. Manasseh, point well made. We have just about 2 minutes to go. What do you think the government should do to protect our schools? Over 600 schools have been shut down because of abductions across the northern part of the country. How do we protect our schools?
To protect the school, the only thing is for us to ensure that the numerical strength of our fighting forces, the intelligence gathering and intelligence sharing need to build up, and Nigeria need to ensure that every level of criminality is subdued. Let us exterminate all these criminals and ensure that, yes, we reduce the concentration of gun-wielding criminals on the face of this country. And let us ensure that the Safe School Initiative project that was initiated by the former UK Prime Minister Gordon Brown is given its due significance, and ensure that every school is protected, not just with building and fences, but with presence of security forces around those schools. And we cannot keep all our security forces just to be guarding school, because we have a lot to do with them. So that the only thing that we need to do is to approach this issue kinetically and non-kinetically, and ensure that, yes, Nigeria is safe at every level, so that children can go to school, not what we are seeing today. Because as it is now, with the level of approach to security issues and the excuses that are being provided at every level, we are not ready to change this narrative. So to change this narrative, we have to counter the narrative of the insurgents by ensuring that education is not actually taboo in Nigeria.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Allen Manasseh, for those insights. Thank you very much.